What's going on YouTube? 6'5" Rider here. Today we're actually going to talk about something specific. I get a lot of questions on social media about my handlebar setup, and I thought since I don't have the fairing on today that it'd be a pretty good day to review them. To all my returning subscribers, welcome back. I'm glad to have you guys on the channel here. And if it's your first time watching any of my videos, welcome to the show, welcome to the moto vlog. I'm 6'5" Rider, and I'm based out of Palm Beach, Florida, and I ride a 2020 Harley Davidson Softail street bob. So let's go ahead and roll that intro and then get this review running. When I first got the bike, that was probably my most common question with a lot of other street bob riders out there. It's, hey bro, how tall are your handlebars and how tall are you, right? It's probably the most common question in that Facebook group for the Softail street bobs. So in my case, I am 6'5". That's my height. I have a 34-inch inseam, and the stock apes did not really work well for me. I mean, they were alright, but they were, I think, stock, it comes with mini apes, the 10 inches, with, I believe, a 1-inch rise or something like that. And so I was not too happy with that bar setup, and I knew I wanted to go to that club style route. So I was looking to do either T-bars or separately get some risers and get some handlebars on the bike, and that's what I opted for. We'll take a stop here in a little bit and kind of take a closer look at them, but what I have is I got a 12-inch riser, which is this piece right here, and it's the bunking riser. I'll link it down in the description below. So they have two options. You can either get the straight riser or you can get the riser with the pullback. I think it gives you, like, there's options for either a 1-inch pullback or a 2-inch pullback. I opted not to go for a pullback because because of my height and because of the fact that when I ride, I wanted my arms to be straight in front of me. I did not want to have, what they call these T-Rex arms right here, right? So I wanted it to be pushed back a little bit. So I got the 12-inch riser, and then I got a 4-inch bar. This is a built well bar. Again, links in the description below. And this is the 4-inch rise of the bar. So like straight from here all the way up to here is 4 inches. So the total rise on my handlebar setup is 16 inches total. What's nice though, having them separately compared to like straight up T-bars, is that, if you're not comfortable with the way the bar setup looks, you can just loosen these bolts and kind of pull this either your way a little bit or pull it or push it a little further back to kind of be a little bit more comfortable. It's funny because initially I had ordered the 14-inch riser, which would have been honestly way too tall. It would have been like all the way up here. And because you see the mount or the triple tree over here, how it's coming my way with a straight 14-inch bar, this would have probably ended up over here. And I was definitely not looking for that style. And so I was lucky enough to give bunking a call whenever I made the order and say, hey, you guys, I can't do the 14-inch. Please send me the 12-inch instead. And, they were gracious enough to actually change my order and do that for me, which was perfect. I really appreciate them for doing that. So now, it feels really good, but I can tell you one thing that's different, and maybe this is something to do with my bike, or I don't know, because I hadn't felt it like 3,000 miles ago maybe, but I get a lot of vibration in the bars. Still, like, it's not that terrible, it's not that bad, but I still do get some of that vibration. I don't know if you can see, like, my phone, how it's vibrating the mirrors. So it's not terrible, you know. One important thing, whenever you're switching out handlebars, especially to a taller setup like this, you need to make sure to get some bushings, right? You don't want to reuse the stock bushings, because I think those are either plastic or metal, I'm not sure. But the one I opted for is the polyurethane bushings. Again, link in the description below for that setup. And the polyurethane actually is good because it helps a little bit with that vibration versus a titanium bushing or something like that, where it's metal on metal. But it's also very sturdy, right? Like if I push my bars forward, it's sturdy. Even if I'm like walking the bike around or whatever, it's pretty sturdy. So no issues there. Alright, I'm gonna take a stop here at one of my favorite parks near the house, and I'm gonna give you guys a quick look at what my setup looks like. I just hope I have enough battery on the GoPro, and if not, we'll switch over to the phone, it's fine. But as you can see here with my height, like I'm sitting upright right now, and if I do this, if I extend my arm, right, because I'm a tall dude, if I extend it all the way, it goes past the grips. But with this setup, it's kind of perfect for me because it gives me this type of angle where my elbows are kind of angled down, but not like to the point where it's like this. No, it's actually out straight, which is it's pretty good for me.
A few moments later.
Alright, so I actually had to switch over to the phone because the GoPro is pretty low on battery. But anyway, getting here to my favorite park in Boynton Beach, Florida, or Lake Worth, Florida maybe. I kind of want to show you guys what the bike looks like without the fairing and with those handlebars. So as you can see, like it gives it that aggressive look. And you see up here from the front, like these bunking risers are not bad. I mean, they're one of the cheapest risers on the market, but the quality is honestly really good, as you can see. And what's cool about it is that it has these notches here where you can hide the wiring, right? Where I've seen a lot of the cool looking ones, the wiring is actually sticking in the middle. And I don't think that would have looked that good, to be honest. And so thankfully we're able to get the wire through the riser and all the way up out the digital gauge and out to the respective locations on the handlebars. It looks really good. If you see it from this side right here, you'll see how like high and aggressive it looks. I mean, I personally think it looks badass. You see, if you're as tall as I am, this setup is pretty perfect for you. A lot of my shorter friends, unfortunately, whenever they've sat on my bike, they struggled a little bit with the tall handlebars. That's very unfortunate for them, right? Not for me. For me, it works perfectly. Now, I do have a couple of negatives. The negative I have on the riser is, again, just the way it looks. It's very bland, right? It's not like that Thrash and Supply riser. It's not like, some of the other well-known companies where like it has cool notches and it looks more aggressive and more cool. This is just very bland and very straight. So that's one issue with the riser. Build quality, top notch though. The other problem that I have, especially with my Builtwell handlebar and the fact that I live here in Florida, is, as you can see here, I'm getting some rust. You know, I live in a very humid climate. Even though I park my bike in the garage, I still get a little bit of rust over here. So this is for the quad lock. This is my ram mount for the quad lock. So I use the ram instead of the quad lock handlebar mount. So I might need to change this, but it looks like some of the rust that's hitting this piece right here is transferring over to the handlebar. So I need to probably disassemble this and clean out that area. That's if I don't change the handlebar setup altogether. I don't know, we'll see. But I mean, Harley quality, unfortunately. Look at this. And this is just the bolts, right? So all of these, you can change them pretty easily. But I mean, that's what happens when you live in a very humid climate like Florida. Anyway, let's jump back on the bike and go ahead and wrap this video up. All right, so now that we're back on the bike, one thing I wanted to do here in the park is, again, because of my height, I feel like this is so nimble for me, right? Like, look at this. I'm doing these straight up U-turns, right? I always have a problem with the right side, right? I'm doing these U-turns, this figure 8 right here, right? I have no issues with it. But a lot of other people, again, it just depends on everybody, depends on your height, depends on how you feel with the bike. But for me, it feels super nimble, right? Like, look at this. I mean, right? I'm almost like scraping my pegs right here. Right there. So it feels pretty good for me. Not gonna lie. Be able to do 2 parking spots here. Let's see. Can I do it? Yeah, I can do it. Let's try it one more time. Okay, right here. Yeah, I was able to do it. That didn't go out of the line. This is actually pretty fun. Oh, yeah, there we go. All right, so as you can see, like, because of my height, these bars work really well for me. Somebody else who's shorter or maybe even taller, it might not work for somebody taller than I am, but for the ergonomics of different people, it might work differently. You know, for me, I find it really good. I have really good control on my bike, and you know, yeah, it works for me. If you have any questions or anything about your bar setup, well, before I say that, I did have to extend my brake line. I did get an aftermarket brake line, a taller one, to kind of accommodate these bars. And initially I didn't have to extend my clutch line, but after a while I kind of took a look at it, and it felt like it was overstretched. Even though it worked for like maybe a year and a half with me. A year and a half where I didn't have to change it, but it looked really stretched. So I went to Harley and ordered a longer clutch cable, and was able to actually get a longer one. And as you can see, this right here, it's got a lot of slack on it. And again, with the newer bikes, all I needed was the extension from here, right? You have that housing right there, and you just replace that extension to a longer clutch cable. Anyway, if you guys have any questions regarding my bar setup or just bar setups in general for the 2020 Harley Davidson Street Bob, go ahead and throw them down in the comment, and I'll be able to answer as well as I can to the best of my knowledge. I'm no expert, you know, but I have some experience in handlebars, and you know, at least on a street bob, right? Somebody did a rolling burnout right here. Well, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, that like button. That basically tells YouTube that you guys like the videos, and it allows me to make more videos for you guys. If you really enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below for more content, more helpful tips, hopefully like this. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching, and let's take this turn right here. And I hope to see see you guys on, you know, the next ride. You see it vibrates a little bit. I'm going 72, but it's not that bad, you know, it could be worse. But anyway, I'll see you all on the next ride. Peace.